Farrakhan Oz here. So today I'm coming with another review on the Rasasi luxury line. Part one was on the three oud-based fragrances. They were mainly Ru Al-Sam Abir, Malaysia, and Asrar, Indonesia. And then ended up really liking Asrar, Indonesia. I ended up getting a full bottle. So this is a presentation. This is actually the bottle that you see there partially. Sits in a velvet casing in there. And then there's a metal detail on the bottle. This comes in a 50 ml, and I will run you around between 150 and then 170. I'm gonna leave a link below on the review on the three oud-based fragrances from the Rasasi luxury line. If you want to check that and then find out why I like Asrar Indonesia the best. So today's review is going to focus on the musk-based fragrances from the Rasasi luxury line. So the first one is Lamaat Musk Tabriz and the second one is Jazeebiyat Musk Tabriz. So we're going to go ahead and start with Lamaat. So with Lamaat, the opening is pretty much blood orange, thick, juicy with a red, like a red rose. Really strong, really rosy vibe. That's pretty much what you get on the opening. Then after about 10 minutes, that's when the fruity accord, the amber, and the vanilla joins in. Again, the rose is still persistent and then is the main player here. But in those notes, so mainly the vanilla and the amber and the passion fruit kind of add a little bit of sweetness to it, smoothness, and then a little bit of complexity to the rosy accord. After an hour, that's when the woods join in. And then what you pretty much get in is like the sweetness in the rose is cut down. Then the fruity accord is cut down. Mainly you get a sandalwood that adds a little bit of creaminess. Then you have like a cedar undertone that actually helps reduce the sweetness. And then it stays like that for 5 to 6 hours. You pretty much get like a rose, a full bloomed rose with an ambery, vanillic accord. And then during my testing, like several days that I tested Lamaat, I was kind of self-conscious in the sense that I felt like it was leaning more feminine because of the sweetness and then the rosy accord. Yeah, the sandalwood and the cedarwood kind of help round that a little bit, but then yeah, I felt like it was too pretty. But then the magic happens 6 hours after wearing it. Then what I got was pretty much like a dirty amber and a rose accord. So the rose was kind of like a, how to say that, like a animalic rose. And then that's when I thought that I could pull it off easily without feeling self-conscious. For me, like wearing something like that for 7 hours before I get the masculine vibe out of it is not gonna work. But for a female, I think this would be really beautiful. It is complex. The composition is well made and then well blended. The rose is actually a really good rose, and the other supporting notes, I think it was a clever composition. The passion fruit and the cedar and the sandalwood. The vanilla here is really light, and it adds like that sweetness, creaminess too. So the performance overall is really good. 7 hours, you get good protection, great sillage, and then after the 7 hour mark, that's when it becomes close to the skin, and then you get that animalic vibe. Again, 7 out of 10. I think this is a really good composition. Just not for me. I think is leaning more feminine, and then this is definitely for winter. I don't think you can wear this to the office because it projects a lot. It is loud. I see this being worn by a woman going to like a social event, hanging out with the girls, just having fun. You have to be outdoors. If you're in a room, I think you have to be light on the trigger to truly enjoy this. Otherwise, you're gonna choke yourself. Like for the time I was wearing it, I had to pretty much stick my hand away from me most times. So yeah, because it was that strong. So overall, good composition. So next we're gonna move on to Jazeebiyat. So Jazeebiyat opens up with mandarin, bergamot, and orange blossom but just for a split second, it's easy to miss. Then right on the tuberose and the rose just jump in. Then in the opening, pretty much what you get is a blink of citruses, and then you get like a heady tuberose and rose accord. So after 10 minutes, the fruity accord starts to kick in. So you pretty much get coconut, peach, and blackcurrant. The blackcurrant here is the dominant fruity accord here. And then you get the coconut and the peach that are actually adding more smoothness and a little bit of creaminess to the whole composition, making it smooth and nice. Then after 30 minutes, that's when you get the amber and then the musk coming in. The musk is toned down, it's really nice. It blends in really well. But pretty much during the dry down, after 30 minutes, you get the same scent profile. So what you get is pretty much like a slightly dirty amber tuberose with a slight fruity vanillic accord. And then here again, the tuberose is heady and is strong. It almost strangles all the supporting notes, but then the composition is well balanced that you still get that fruity, ambery, and vanillic accord. So it is well blended. But then that's pretty much what you get during the full wearing of this fragrance. So for performance, I usually get between 8 to 12 hours with the die down happening around the 6 to 7 hour mark, where it becomes close to the skin. Now, like I mentioned before for Lamaat, I think this is a more feminine leaning fragrance, so I don't see myself wearing it. But as for the composition and then the performance, it is great. If I was going to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10 equally, like Lamaat. I think it's a matter of preference and taste. I prefer Lamaat because, yeah, you have that rosy accord there, fruity accord, sweet accord, but then you have woods to kind of tone that down. I think it would be beautiful on a woman. Jazeebiyat, on the other hand, I think is just like a heady tuberose and a fruity, ambery accord. I'm not that much into it. I don't think it is as complex as Lamaat. So again, it's a matter of preference. If you love tuberose, that might be a good scent because that's the star player. So in conclusion, for both these Lamaat and Jazeebiyat, remember these are more feminine leaning fragrances. They're beautiful composition, really nice, matter of preference. Tuberose and a fruity accord, or rose with like a woody backbone. Again, only for winter. Maximum 2 sprays. When I was testing these, I could still smell this over cooking food, cooking spicy food. So that's how strong this is. So I don't think this is good for an office setting, pretty much for social, going out, big rooms, light on the trigger, and then it will work wonders, especially for Lamaat. That's my favorite. Again, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe.